Hey, Kitty Girls, it's Sunday, February 16th, 2025, and welcome to Cubs Out Loud Drag Race T-Time, where we're going to be discussing the most recent episodes of Season 17 of RuPaul's Drag Race. Let's get Sickening, Ball, and Snatch Game. For those of you that don't know who we are, my name's Gary. With me is my ever-fabulous co-host.
Hello, everyone. It's Damon. Welcome.
And we're going to dive in and see if we like the water in this climate of these temperatures of these last two episodes. So yes, we had another design challenge, and then we had the impersonation slash improv challenge. Two kind of big episodes
Mm-hmm.
in this case. So we're gonna get right into the first segment here, unless there's something that you want to go over before we get into things.
No.
Okay.
Racers, start your engines, and may the best drag queen win.
Ooh, girl, that bursitis is really acting up, huh?
I haven't even been paying. I feel like I don't even see it anymore. I'm like, she
Well,
must
because
just.
she doesn't raise her damn arm. Like, I
Yeah.
want someone, journalists, I want the integrity motherfuckers. Someone's got to talk to Mother Rue and be like, why don't you raise your arm no more? Like, did you like have a rotator cuff tear? Like, what is going on here? Because like you don't even attempt to raise your arm. It's
Was
just
there a workplace injury? Would you like to file? Is this in relation to like my job? Is this cumulative trauma? Like, are you
oh my god.
just
Anyways.
constantly doing this just as you're like, now this is your accommodation, so you just like, you can do, you have to do it because it is so like significant, but like maybe just here or here or here.
Like she's not like literally she doesn't move her arm. From her shoulder to her elbow doesn't move. She just goes like you can't even see what I'm doing. Like she just puts her hand out like and up, and I was like,
like
wow.
Dari and
Wow.
in the volleyball game, just whoop,
Yeah.
whoop. You don't know. Anyway, it's fine.
That's all right. Okay, so in this first segment, put the pedal to the metal. We're going to be talking about three particular areas out of these episodes that stood out of us: the serves, which are the positives; the swerves, which are those road hazards, those negatives they probably should have avoided; and the nerves.
Mm.
Nerve is going to be either positive or negative. It's pretty polarizing, most likely. In terms of like what they did or what they attempted. So, why don't we get into serves, Damon? What are you giving serves for?
Cool. So first off, I'm giving some serves to what I called Jules' Dark Lady Runway, which
Okay.
was from episode 6. The Sea Sickening Ball was the outfit she made herself. It was so well done
Mm-hmm.
while also being relatively simple,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense. It was the like side, like shoulder and hip with some like, I don't know what it was made out of, doesn't matter. And then for me, the best part was she took that this red netting
Mm-hmm.
and all. I don't know if she actually glued it, but it looked like very much like very form fitting to the body.
Mm-hmm.
And she put it on the damn shoe.
Mm.
She put it on the shoe, and it just added just a little bit of like elevation to this look, while simple,
Right.
was very well done. So I give my snaps to her, or serves to her, I should say, because I really did genuinely love that look.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and speaking of looks, I'm also giving serves to Anya and her nail did look. Oh my god!
So here's the thing: if y'all haven't been watching this particular season, Anya Nerve is delivering black slash African American culture here for like USA, and like it is like when they first came on the season, they were talking about how that was going to be like their package theme, and they didn't
Hmm.
describe it that way, but it is so obvious now that's exactly what they've been doing. um it is not a surprise to see them come out. What is a surprise is to see the level to which it is going.
Yeah.
And this is one of those where I was like, yes, there are elements of this that kind of call back to previous runway moments. Like we've
Hmm.
seen airbrush before, we've seen the
Yeah.
like I don't even know what I want to call it. It's not a cape, but like from the waist down train.
Yeah.
Like, so there's things about it, that we've seen before, but yeah,
It was so just well executed. I knew exactly what I was looking at, and I'm so glad she went there with it.
mhm.
I've seen she's posted pictures on her, like I know on her Twitter, um, and I've just been like, yeah, like this is just great. Like I can hear the nails.
Mhm.
I like the hair show like 2000s hair show look just with the nails hanging out of it. Just, it yeah, so fucking amazing. And like we know, like I mean, but this doesn't just say the cake. I would say the train. Like we know this girl,
Right.
the girl that gets the real good nails and then gets the hair done up and then just wears like basic clothes because she can't afford. she
Correct.
can't,
She
she's
spent
like,
she spent her she spent her paycheck on her nails and on her hair.
yeah, which is fine.
Right.
Do you? But it was just I know we're going to be talking about Anya a lot in this episode, but I had to give my props to
Mhm.
that moment of just pure joy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No, I agree. For sure.
Gary.
So in episode 6, Arietti's Coral Runway, for the ball,
Mm,
I
mhm,
was a little gobsmacked when she walked out because my first thought was, she made that? Question mark?
mhm, mhm,
Because yes, we had spray paint gate, and that was a whole thing, and it was very dramatic. And that is the one thing I will say about this season, is that these are dramatic queens. Um, Lexi
they're not
understandably
safe
has a
for the
complete
drama.
meltdown. It causes another drama about
Uh-huh,
Anya and how she handles things.
uh-huh.
She got called out on that, not only in the episode, but I think also in terms of social media. I know I listened to a podcast and they were like, no, the moment you knew you fucked up,
Uh-huh,
you should own it, not stay silent. This whole,
uh-huh.
you was in a mood and now's not the right time. And well, you're just going to
I
escalate it.
yeah, I have feelings about Tarpgate. Um or paint tart whatever. Anyway,
Right, right.
I'm calling it Tarpgate. Um and I understand and respect Anya's choice in the moment,
Mm-hmm.
but having watched the episode and watched the situation like a couple of times now and heard other people kind of discussing it, I'm kind of like, because at first I was like, I get it, I get why Anya was doing what she was doing. I totally understand because I've seen that before, and I'm still not faulting her. I'm not saying it was well. Never rephrase. I get why she did what she did, but what she did was not necessarily the best choice to make in that moment.
Right.
Um, we've all been there. Hysterical, someone's like very agitated and angry and whatever, and you don't want to say shit to that person. You don't like
Right.
let them crash out or and have like and then but when you know you are part of the source
Mm,
of that hysteric,
right.
there comes a need to like you should say something because what happened is what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Since you didn't say anything, it didn't get better, it got worse.
Right. Yeah, and so that was a whole thing, and the reason I bring it up is because Arietti spray painted their outfit and did a
Hmm.
really good job,
Yes.
in that piece, and in terms of the multiple pieces to it, the shape, the outline, adding the coral pieces, the extra dots, bubbles, I mean, there was so much put into it, and I will say that it definitely shows that Arietti has an aesthetic design eye,
Yeah.
is very artistic. I mean, that's kind of been known, but it is at a certain level, and it just keeps
Yeah.
coming. Um,
Like I'm looking at the I'm Hi, everybody. I have a picture over here. I have two screens, and I'm looking at this picture, and I'm just like again, if you were to get like really close up, you could probably see like the edges are probably like because it's just like cut out, what have you, and they're a little frayed. But given what she gave in this look,
Mm-hmm.
the thing, like you said, the coral part is the thing that's like impressing me.
Right.
The orange that is apparently like glue, like hot glue that's been just pulled out and maybe cut and shaped in a way. I'm just like, that's talent.
Right.
You don't just go, oh, I'll just do this and see if it works. Like you have to
Right.
know that that's going to be the end result.
Right. So yeah, so definitely that was for episode 6. And then episode 7, I'm gonna say, man, Acacia Forgot's Swiss Army knife, a la Bette Midler for the boys. Like,
Mhm.
it was so well done. She came walking out and I was like, what in the hell? And yeah, you kind of had to pay attention to the details to get it. And that was a very strategic production thing they did where they
Mhm.
showed the queen's hands and their nails
Yeah.
because so many
Mhm.
of them had like crafted, very
Very
custom.
little intricate. Yeah.
Right. And the moment she said that like she was inspired by the Swiss Army knife, and I was like, oh my God. Like talk about like taking a look, an aesthetic, and then applying a theme or a concept to it where you're not like
Mhm.
going crazy. She is not the Swiss Army knife with all the appendages sticking out. Do you know what I mean? Like where it's a
Yeah.
little too on the nose or whatever. In this case, she was like,
Mhm.
I'm gonna apply this as a concept. So yeah, I just thought it looked really good on her. And
Mhm. Yeah.
I know that like people haven't necessarily been a fan of some of her fashion and stuff, but like she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
She's proving herself, to be a contender of a certain kind.
Yeah.
So
This was a knockout look for her. Um, I really enjoyed it. I wrote like it's one of my favorites that I wrote down, and she I think she mentioned Troop Beverly Hills, which I
yeah,
was like,
yeah,
okay, that makes sense. It's not exactly the same. It's not really like it wasn't reading um like camp counselor
right.
as it were, but again, it was very well made and very well done. I love the nails and the fact that she had like little different little like things you would find in a Swiss Army knife as
Hmm.
part of her nails. I think that was smart. I would have been mad. I will own this if she went home and we didn't get to see that. That's how I feel about it.
That's true. Also, I did appreciate the camp factor where one of the fingers was a little penis.
Yeah.
I think she might have run out of things that come out of a Swiss Army knife to cover all the fingers. Like there may not be 10
Yeah.
things, there may only be 8 or whatever. And so she made a whole point of like having her index finger to be just a penis. And I just thought that was kind of funny where she was just like, everybody needs a tool.
Mhm.
So yeah. All right, let's talk about them swerves because child,
Uh-huh.
there have been some choices. Oh, okay. Here we go.
So speaking of tart cake,
Yes.
I'm gonna give a swerve to Miss Lexi Love and her tart because I that was a lot of emotion for Safe. Um and
Okay. Anyways, we'll circle back on that in the most recent episode. But anyways,
but like I get that there were some elements that were very nice. I love the hair on her in that look. But baby, you cut a hole in a tarp and then
right,
wrapped it on your body.
right,
And I mean, obviously you did some sort of spray painting details to it, and then when the tarp gate shit happened, you kind of went back and did some stuff, and that's great. It's a hole in a tarp.
right.
Like at the end of the day, for me, it was a hole in a tarp, and
Yeah. Like I honestly wasn't that moved by it. Like
uh-huh.
I'm not gonna say it was bad, and I'm not gonna say it
No,
was
no, no.
super lazy. She played to her strengths.
Uh-huh.
She has a model type body, so it makes sense
Uh-huh.
that she would pull that off because I know that was something that got said by a number of people was like, would this work on another person? Would it work on another body type? And that became questionable. And I think people were willing to give her the recognition that it works for her, not necessarily for everybody. Yeah.
That part.
Agreed.
And then Susie, and your delusion in episode 7. I get it. We were probably being played by production. I'm just going to own that right now.
Okay.
That's definitely probably the case because they probably heard her talking about it. And you would think, given her acting abilities and her comedy chops that we've seen so far, like this would be an easy, not I don't want to say easy win, but this would be a no-brainer for Susie. I think, Susie, you got in your head and went I need to be true to the person and the character, then I need to make Rue laugh.
That's fair.
And Jim and I were talking about it Friday, like celebrity impersonation to be blunt, means shit. You have to make Rue laugh. That is the number one goal in Snatch Game.
Yes.
And like you can provide a mediocre representation of your character, but if you make Rue laugh, it makes sense.
Right.
You'll get some kudos, or at least be safe.
Right.
You know, if I can't tell who you are, like, okay, fine. I'm going to use a perfect example. Candy Muse as Patrick Star. Was Candy Muse Patrick Star? Absolutely not. Did Candy Muse make Rue laugh? I believe so. It's been a minute, but I think she did make her laugh enough to where I think she was safe on that episode.
Well, I think there's a distinction between like surviving Snatch Game, which was what some of these queens' goals were, and other people thinking they're just going to knock it out of the park and they're going to be in the pantheon of the top performers of Snatch Game.
Yeah.
And I think that is unfortunately what Susie thought was going to happen.
Right.
And it's
she's
like,
very much,
girl, you are not Jinx Monsoon.
No.
So.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
I think shit. Jinx Monsoon would have done a better job at Ellen Green than you.
Absolutely, hands down.
Yeah.
Yep. I would make that bet. That's not an issue.
Actually, I believe she's played Audrey in Little Shop of Horrors, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, just that part, and then when they go back the next day and it's the elimination day, and she's talking about how well she did and how great she was, and one of the things she said, I almost wrote it down, but it just popped in my head, is like, the people who know Ellen Green will get what I said, get what I did, and they'll laugh at it. I'm like, that's not the point.
Correct.
That is not the point.
Yeah.
That is like, and then I think there was something else you said that irked me so much. Like something about like years from now, something like that. Like people would be like really get this. I'm like,
They need to get it today.
They need to get it today.
Right. No, I agree.
Need to get it right now.
No, I agree.
You doing all this cerebral, like very much like not funny. It wasn't funny. Shit that it just wasn't. It swing and a miss, dear. Swing and a miss.
No, I agree.
Gary.
So there's a theme to mine. Sorry, girl. Corey King. So episode 6, your rope runway, like in the Sickening ball, was not impressive. Like,
no.
I didn't care for it. The frayed ends of the rope was a big problem for me. And everybody like, and I know that a couple of people kind of commented on it, like, I don't know, almost like it was a positive, and I was like, no, it's not. Like you glued rope to a corset.
Yeah.
Like that's not acceptable
And
in
then
my
added
book.
a couple of like little sleevey things and
Yeah, no, I
those
just didn't.
fucking orange shoes.
Well, Rue got her revenge in the next episode.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the funniest things I think I've seen in that workroom in a long ass time involving Mother
Yeah.
Rue. The fact that she called her out on those net sneaker booty style heels and then went to her station, picked them up and brought them over in front of Alyssa Edwards. I was like, "Oh, she is not playing.
Yes.
She is going to like make everybody eat up this moment." That was kind of wild. So there's that, and then in episode 7, her French tip, quote unquote, presentation. I was like, no, girl, no, absolutely not. Like if this was a runway challenge where you had to invent the look based on Nailed It, I might be more forgiving, but I'm not. I'm no, like dressing up as a mime and putting on, some French tips does not cut it. Not at all. And I'm just gonna say it this way: Anya Nerve and Lana Jarre like kicked your ass so hard in this particular runway as two other queens of color who like presented, and I was like, that's so bad, so bad, so bad.
I have. Oh, okay. So absolutely, that fucking orange rope bullshit. Like the thing that bothered me the most, you didn't even make enough rope to cover your ass. Like the back,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
cover the back. Like find something, make something, do something. Because if I can see your orange panty,
Right.
I'm glad you wore an orange panty. Like that's just terrible.
Right.
I hated it. The look didn't gel well. It was shit. It was shit. Shit. Then you go to this French like mime bullshit again. That like okay, I get where you were going,
Right.
but you took like step 1
Right.
when you needed to take step like 50.
Right.
And like just
No, I know.
I am tired of this basic ass bullshit from her. I'm tired of her mouth. I'll talk about it. I'll talk about this later. I'm just tired, and I need her to shut the fuck up. That's what I need to do.
Fair. Very fair.
Ugh.
All right, so let's move on to Nerve. Damon, what do you think took Nerve?
I'm giving Nerve, absolute 100% Nerve,
Mm-hmm.
to Arietti's makeup skills in episode 6. Because you realize,
Yes,
3 separate looks, 3 separate faces.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was fucking blue. Like,
correct.
so, and who was it? Did I hear it? Was it Race Chaser or somebody else?
Yes.
Something about they only get like 30 minutes.
No, so
between.
I thought Willem said he got it on good word. They had an hour between looks on the runway.
Okay.
Which is not necessarily a lot of time.
No. But to do what she did,
correct.
It's pretty big. I feel for her skin. I will own that much.
Right. I mean, to
to
go from the blue avatar look to the lionfish look was a huge change because she basically had to strip down her makeup back to base, start over again. Now, she had to do that technically from the lionfish to the next one, but that wasn't as severe, I think.
I agree. But it took a lot of nerve. And if they had an hour, I'm not as like, woo, wow. But I still give it the props that it gives.
But here's what we don't know is the hour like per queen per look? Like, did they just clock it and run it so efficiently that like as soon as you walked off, the clock was ticking and you had 60 minutes to be back ready to present your next look? Or was it like everybody got done and they were all corralled and they had to wait, and then everybody got exactly 60 minutes to switch out to be lined up to do it again? Like, either way, that's not a lot of time. to
No.
like get out of your outfit. And to be fair, we've kind of seen that some of the PAs help the girls like with zippers and
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
kind of,
We've seen.
they do dressing stuff. So like
Yeah.
you've got some assistance, but this is not a theater production where you're doing quick changes.
Yeah. Exactly.
yeah.
So yeah. So some props to some nerve. It took some nerve to present that for the ball.
Yeah.
Snaps. Great for you. You go. Episode 7. Wrong queen went home.
Okay.
I love you, Lana. But I think this was your time to go. I even wrote like that lip sync with sloppy Lana. Or it felt sloppy.
Well,
to,
so you know what happened in the episode. You and I've talked about it before. It's one of our biggest beefs, where the queens are not necessarily respectful of each other during the lip sync, and they do this weird like staging blocking thing. And they basically kind of start this competitive, like, look at me with their lip syncing, body movements and stuff. And Lana got all pissed about her coming between her legs. And I'm like, bitch, were you paying attention to where you were standing compared to the other performer? Like, I don't know. Like like both of them bothered me from that perspective.
The lip sync overall was not my favorite.
Right.
It wasn't. There was a lot of that, just like stepping in front of, and there were moments like I saw like Crystal crashed into Lana at one point, and just all of these things that were just weird. There's a whole last stage here, and I get that being up front is great, and especially like the front and middle, because that's kind of where Rue is.
Right.
But like, there's a whole ass stage,
and there's also quote unquote the scandal that Lana lost her hair and put it back on. I mean, I'll give her the recognition that she at least put her damn hair back on, and it looked half decent when she put it back on. But a part of me is like, why did it fall off?
Yeah.
If you knew you were going to lip sync, or there was a high potential of why you were going to lip sync, why didn't you borrow some glue if you didn't have your own? Like, and bobby pins. Like, make sure that shit is secure, even if you've got an Ava Perón kind of style looking coif on. Like,
it was sloppy, it was bad, and I feel personally that Crystal should have stayed.
Yeah.
Or to flip it in the other way, just to get some queens out of here, they both should have gone.
That part. You saw that in the telegram. I was like, we are 7 episodes in, and there are still 10 motherfucking queens left. I mean, and shout out to Smashy, who was like, well, we had like a double premiere, and then we had queens saved, 2 queens got saved, blah, blah, blah. Like, and I was like, and I love Smashy, but I was like, that's not what I want to hear right now. I'm in my feelings. I'm co-hosting a podcast, and I'm like, how many more fucking weeks are these queens going to be around? Anyways.
I mean, that's true, though, because how much longer are we going to be doing this? Anyway,
I seriously got the calendar out, looked, and I was like, God damn it! Like, maybe we don't have the math right. And I scoured the internet to see if I could figure out how many episodes there are this season. And it's not that I don't like watching it, but I'm like, there's a part of me that's like, I would like to know when it's going to end.
That part.
So, and there wasn't even a reference. I don't think it was in 7. Maybe it was in 6. There was a reference somewhere about how there could be a double elimination coming up, and I was like, ooh.
It was Hormona who mentioned it, like that. Like, there's a possibility because it was after Ariadne got the final save.
Yes. So
it was episode 6. Anyway,
fair.
Gary.
So for nerves, episode 6, Acacia forgot's cutting runway. I don't think it was bad.
The with all of the stuff,
I honestly thought it was really well done. But people got on her case and was like, you needed to edit it. Like, it was too much. And I was like, I don't know. You could have probably lost 1 or 2, well, probably 2 or 4 of the metal flare things. Like, that killed me because, I don't know, was it Bussy? Someone said something about how she made them, and I thought they said that she made it out of paper. And I was like, bitch, did you not watch the episode? She literally took, like, tin foil and cut it and crafted it into those shapes. So I honestly didn't see it as bad. I thought it took nerve to do what she did, because I know some people were reading her for putting blue felt on a corset, and I was like, what do you expect? It's a ball challenge, and she's using quote unquote sea trash. Like, you work with what you have.
Yeah, and I don't think it was as bad as like everyone's like especially the judges thought it was. I agree. I don't think it was too much, especially when you consider her aesthetic.
Correct. And honestly, my concern, the reason why I guess I wanted to put it into nerve and on the positive side, is because, like, there's the way it was portrayed, she could have gotten cut. Like, she had to be very specific about her body movements and not do any real crazy shit. So I was like, that kind of takes nerve, like, to put your physical safety on the line in fashion, so to speak. I mean,
is it bad that I bet that maybe they saved her and let her be like not in the bottom because they were like, we don't want her to have to go through the lip sync and essentially cut her body with this fucking outfit.
Well, right, or worse yet, in the midst of the lip sync, be like, stop, medic, and then, like, have to deal with that.
Yeah.
So,
baby, that's a thought. That is a thought.
All right, and then Nerve, episode 7, Sam Star's Runway. I think it do take nerve to pull that look off. I personally liked it, but I know that there's probably some heavy criticism out there because we have seen the plastic surgery look, quote unquote, before. But I thought she pulled it off really well. Like, it's part of her aesthetic. It was designed very well. And the fact that she had all those needles on the ends of all of her fingers, I was like, again, the theme of my nerve is danger girl. Like if you're not going to cut yourself, you're going to poke yourself. Like, it was, to me, I personally liked it a lot.
Yeah. I thought it was really good.
I didn't think it was a winning look, but I definitely thought it deserved the praise, the recognition for the effort that was put into it. All right, so with that, let's go into our next segment. So we're going to talk about our snaps and eye rolls, aka the highs and the lows. These are the hits and misses that came out of these particular episodes for us. And Damon, you've thrown me for a loop.
So for the first time, no, I doubt it was the first time ever in this show's history. I'm not gonna snap anything, but the main reason is I saw what you wrote and I'm like, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That part. Like, that's kind of I am handing the snaps to you and we will talk about it.
Well, we can share the snaps then in that case.
We'll share the snaps.
Yes, I mean, I wrote episode 7, but the reality is it's the whole season. Anya Nerves, laser focus. This bitch gives no fucks and is not bothered or phased by the shenanigans and the drama going on, really. And the reason why I say it like that is, like, she's not really moved one direction or another a whole lot. She is strong, she is confident, and I think she's really keeping her eye on the prize. And like I said, not getting wrapped up in the histrionics, like, of the stuff that's happening.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like the spray paint gate. I mean, like, it seems like a bunch of the rest of the girls are really in their feelings about stuff. And I think she's just, like, putting herself forward, doing the best as she can, and wanting that to be positively represented. And the upside is she's getting a lot of good feedback from the judges. They like what she's doing.
Right. Like, that's the tea. Like, I feel that she came in wanting to win.
Mm.
She's very like, I believe I know what it takes, so I'm going to give them, meaning the judges, what it takes to get me there.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all can do what y'all want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all can be boo-hooey and crying your feelings and all that shit that you want to do. I'm going to focus on my goal, which is winning the competition.
Right.
And have their, like, again, and it seems like, and maybe not always in the best way, she's gonna do what she needs to do to make that happen. So we can go back and talk about the trim
Mm-hmm.
and be like, she knew she wasn't the greatest at building something. She saw something that would potentially help her
Mm-hmm.
make something a little better. She did ask for it. She was kind of told no. And she saw that Miss Jules wasn't using it. So she was like, and I'll just be borrowing it. Well, yeah, borrowing it, to do what I need to do. And then we had the whole shit about it. And was it the game wise, was it the greatest move? No. Was it was intentional in a way. I will give it that. Like, but she's doing what she needs to do to win. And she knew, like, if she presented just nothing, it may not have been, given the challenge,
Mm-hmm.
if she hadn't done something, it wouldn't have helped. It wouldn't have worked.
Well, I will say this. I think the reason why she got so much flack about Trimgate was that the judges praised her runway.
Mm-hmm.
And I think contestants felt a certain way about that because they were like, that's not good gamesmanship in the workroom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I don't want to say the word cheating. I think it's just poor competition or whatever, I think,
right.
is where they were really feeling out of sort about it. And Anya was like, listen, it doesn't have to be the most spectacular outfit on the planet. It's how you present it.
Right.
And I think
Right.
that bothered them a lot. I mean, and Susie said the same thing in her Harlequin clown outfit. She's like,
Yeah.
you can be mad and 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 you can be mad, you can be mad. Y'all can be mad as you want. Mama Rue liked it. There you
Mama
go.
Rue liked it. Ross liked it. Michelle liked it. The judges, who are the ones that are critiquing and giving us the props,
Right.
they all liked it.
Correct.
So, why to y'all?
Right. And that is like the drama theme of this season, right? These queens are in their feelings about like how they're not getting the feedback, and then they get the feedback and they get shitty feedback, and they're like, you know what? I take it back. I don't need the feedback. And I'm like, you dumbass. Like, you should have known that was gonna happen. Like,
Yep.
like, there's that, and like, they're so committed to believing that their shit don't stink, that they
Right.
are that queen. And I'm like,
Right.
wow.
And again,
Wow.
there are some girls on the show that I could give. We've been giving props to about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the issue has always been, and will always be, there are 4 letters that have been in place since the beginning of this show that have been the main focus of this, winning this and doing well in this.
Right.
And if you don't have all of it,
Correct.
it's really hard to not to be successful.
And I think one of the things they're fighting against is the uniqueness.
Mm-hmm.
Like, some of these queens are pushing back on the uniqueness factor. And it's like, yes, I understand for you, this is not aesthetically pleasing, or you don't appreciate the fashion of it, or whatever, which is really what Susie was telling them all, was just like,
Yeah.
fuck all y'all. Like, it don't matter what you think. It matters what they think. And the judges, like, appreciated it. Be mad about it. Like, whatever,
And I love that Anya was about that. Was like, yes, that.
Correct.
All about that.
She was very supportive of that. And I think that's how Anya's been feeling this whole way. And that's why I'm like, She has a laser focus. She is like, I am here for as long as I can last, all the way to the end, motherfuckers. Check, please. Thank you.
That part.
Yeah.
All of this.
Yes.
I love it. I love her. I've been enjoying what I'm seeing, and I'm enjoying the person and the personality that we're getting
Mm-hmm.
every single time. And have there been missteps? Absolutely. I hated her first look in the Sickening ball with the blonde, like the very just like plastic blonde like outfit and this white like bathing suit kind of thing. It just
Yeah.
it's not. It didn't feel. It didn't feel like her. It
Cor-
didn't feel like her.
Correct. It also felt a little pedestrian. Like it felt a
That
little
part.
like
Yeah.
any queen could have put this together for a bar night,
Right.
something or other. Like,
Right.
you know. So, the theme is White Lotus, like tropical island party, whatever. You know what I mean?
There
Like
we
it just
go.
didn't.
Ha ha
It
ha
didn't.
ha.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
didn't kind of go that
Yeah.
well. But again, that's sort of, and maybe that was one of those outfits that like that thing just kind of didn't come together. It didn't happen.
Yeah. Maybe last minute or something like that. It's possible. It just of like where I've seen, and again she still kind of gave what she could give,
Right.
but it wasn't a lot
No.
for this look.
Yeah. Agreed.
Anyway,
Okay.
love you, Anya. Hope you win.
Well, speaking of those that probably not going to win, let's talk about eye rolls. I'm just saying.
No. Shade is around. Anyway,
Truth.
so put your money where your mouth is, Corey. Put your money where your mouth is. You have sort of become the talking head of the season for whatever reason. But you're not giving me anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be real honest with you, and I know you probably will never hear this or see this. I don't find an original thing about you, and that bothers me. Like, all to y'all shade, we could go back to one of the first things you wore on that runway, which was a look that was taken from another queen. You seem to talk a lot about other girls throughout the season, but I have yet to see you give me something that is worth talking about. And finally, I wrote it down. Sorry, I wrote it down because I was so pissed. Where did it go? If you can't deliver, don't fuck other girls up. Because that is a shitty thing to do. Don't get me wrong. We all know Susie did not do well. But the thing that pissed me off the most was while they were getting ready and Susie was talking about how she's feeling about it. And yes, Susie was delusional, but like you were talking like, well, that's a big thing to do, and this is like like third win and so great. Like you were essentially like trying to get at her about this, and I don't like that. I just don't. I don't like that because again, you are not giving me anything.
Right.
That makes me go, oh, that's American Next Track Superstar.
Right. I mean,
like I get that you've got like this body, which is pretty much like a carbon copy of Plain Jane in a way. Like, good on you for like having this body and being this like body queen in a way. But nothing else you're doing feels genuine, feels authentic, and feels like it's uniquely you.
Yeah. I think that's fair. I think she's giving us a lot of attitude. To your point about her being the talking head and confessional a lot, that's probably because at a certain point she's going to be gone. So they better get her in now because she's not going to be there to the end. And I'm not trying to be a real asshole about that. I'm just like, I don't
No.
see her overcoming the talent of the
Mhm.
other queens.
No.
So, yeah.
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 I'm happy that you have your little romance with Lydia. At least you'll have something that you get back from the competition.
Okay. Moving on. Eye rolls. This is all focused on the last episode. I call it unprepared and unfulfilled. I'm just going to run through these names. Gilbert Gottfried, Cupid, Nicole Richie, Rosa Parks, Ellen Green. That was sad. So sad.
So sad. So sad.
Like, I've never seen people be so bad at the Snatch Game, and the only thing that was the irony of it was that they knew they were bad at it. Like, in the moment, you could see, like, it wasn't just like the deer in headlights thing. Like, I mean, my God, Lexi was talking out loud to herself,
right?
Talking through it and being like, just shoot me now. Like, fuck
right?
me. Like, and what was funny about it, what's wild to me is then the judges told her that was the funny part. Like, yes, you bombed. You bombed so hard that you turned out to be funny because you didn't know what to do about the fact that you were bombing, and you were kind of owning it, but in a really messy way. And they thought that was funny. And I was like, and Lexi, I think, sort of took it as a compliment. And I was like, girl, that's not a compliment.
I think she took it in like, I'm safe. Like, holy shit. I know I didn't win this shit, but like the fact that she was up there, because I bet when they said all those other girls were safe, she was like, oh, and she saw who was left. It's like, oh, I'm in the bottom. I'm in the bottom. I'm in the fucking bottom. I'm in the bottom. I'm done. Like, I'm out of this challenge. Like, I'm gonna have to lip sync, and I'm gonna be potentially gone. Right? I bet that's what she's thinking. And then they started talking to her.
Right.
The so bad it's good is such a rare case.
Correct.
That, and I'm gonna, hey, future drag race queens out there, don't do that.
Yeah, don't plan on that saving you.
Don't. That's a because you got to think about 17 seasons, and I think we've been doing Snatch Game for 16, if I remember correctly. That's once.
Right. You can't duplicate it.
Yeah. Because we've seen some bad Snatch Games. We literally had a whole season where pretty much everybody except one person got put in the bottom because of the fact that they were so terrible on the Snatch Game, which I don't necessarily agree with, but whatever.
Right.
But again, like, don't rely, like, do not rely on being so bad that the girls, like the queens, laugh at it. It's essentially laughing at you.
Right. Yeah. No, it was really surprising to me as to how they seemed unprepared, or if they were really well prepared with the concept, they couldn't deliver on it.
Yeah.
I mean, and of all of them, like, honestly, I put Susie 2 to the end with that Ellen Green thing because I was like, girl, not good. Like, yeah, you've got the
No.
look down and you may have the voice in a way, but no.
Yeah. No. It just wasn't. It
Like,
wasn't.
you are not pulling in Jinx Monsoon's Little Edie. This is not that
Yeah.
moment for you. It is not
No.
happening.
No. And like one of the things that got me, and I think they mentioned it often in the judges' critiques of some of the girls. Um, don't say no or I don't know in an improv kind of challenge. Never say no and I don't know. It
Yes.
it and don't be so focused on one aspect that you can't bend and adjust.
Correct.
Um,
Well, and
Cupid being a baby.
right, like here's the thing is I just realized for Arietti with the Cupid baby thing, what would have been great is if you came across with like a very masculine voice, like something that throws off the aesthetic and the look, and then like have the baby Cupid, like the cherub, like I don't know, smoking a cigar, drinking like whiskey, like
Very much like
getting
Crane Rock
high.
Rabbit.
Yeah, like
Yeah. Yeah.
something to
Yeah.
play like to what you don't expect about that.
Yeah. There were opportunities here that were severely missed.
Yeah.
Um, I love it when Rue is literally handing you a joke and you don't take it. Like there's so many things,
All
so
right.
many moments for that.
I will say this. One of the funniest moments in the episode was when Rue says the line to Lana as Rosa Parks, and Lana says in confession, "What are you doing? That's my question." Like, I thought that was so funny that she was so out of sorts that she was like, "You can't take that from me." And I'm like, "But bitch,
And,
she can, because it's her name that's on the show."
and like you could have said that the first thing that popped out of your mouth.
Right. Rue,
And
is
I
the
bet
bus still running? Yeah.
yes, if you had said that first thing that popped out of your mouth,
Right.
Rue would have laughed. You would have laughed. The other queens would have laughed. The AI gay eye bullshit would have laughed. Like like everything would have been great.
Right.
But again, it just so many missed opportunities. Like you said, unfulfilled, unprepared, or over prepared. I will even maybe give it that. Like
Right. I think a whole bunch of them became so focused on their character and like what they had to do to present their character and completely lost that it is improv. I think it's more improv than it is impersonation.
yeah,
It
absolutely.
needs to be humorous and or funny. You need to be able to quip. You need to be able to say things. Like Sam Starr did really well with that character. This woman I have never heard of in a million years.
Right.
Like, I don't get cable. I don't watch QVC. I don't know who she is. She comes from a pageant background apparently. But like, I got her character, and she was able to quip and say things really quick and fast as responses to other things. And I'm like, that is Snatch Game, because that is like what some of the funniest game show moments were in the history of Hollywood. Like whether it be Password or Hollywood Squares or, Match Game, any of these things. Like there's always these quippy kind of one-liner things that get said that people remember and find really damn funny. And
Right.
so I think, Sam Starr was honestly really like doing so goddamn good.
She was smart.
Yeah.
She was smart. And I'll give that to like Anya and her Eddie Murphy and
Well, I mean, that is kind of a smart choice. When she said she was going to do Eddie Murphy, I was like, okay, girl, like you best be careful because it's a comedian. And you could be really funny, but that's a high bar to set to pick a comedian to do.
Right. Yeah.
So,
and I mean,
she did really well.
Yeah, and same with like Jules and her Miss Sasquatch. That's how you pick a like unknown like entity,
right,
and do something just like hilarious with it.
Right.
And again, it goes against like her type. Like I would have never seen Jules doing like the full like hair and all that shit going on. Like props to her for like the nails on the the fingers and on the hands and the quick tip of like the pedicure and it being like, oh, it's actually blood. Like yes, like yes,
Correct.
good on you. But other than that, like y'all,
Yeah.
and again, like I said, 16 years of Snatch Game. I'm pretty sure you can't. You've got to know the number one rule.
Right. Yeah, it was not great. It was something. Oh my. Anything else before we wrap up?
No.
Okay. They were 2 episodes. Like I said, it was the ball, it was a Snatch Game, and then next week, kids, episode 8 is the Rusical. I am very intrepidatious about because it is the what is it? It's the Wicked Wiz of Oz. Something like that. So they're smashing up the Wizard of Oz and the Wiz apparently. And I'm like, that's bold. Like, is it on target? Absolutely, because Wicked, the first movie, just came out last November, so it came out after they recorded this season. So, like, is it part of the current culture? Yes, absolutely. However, I'm like, this will be interesting to see how this goes. Because I think this is one of those, like Snatch Game, it's going to be a make or break for some girls. Between the choreography and the music and like the emoting and all that kind of jazz.
Right.
So we will see how that plays itself out. But in the meantime, if you have things you would like to tell us, your thoughts on these episodes and feedback, there's plenty of ways to do that. You can go to cubsoutloud.com and leave a post on our blog there. You can send us an email at cubsoutloud@gmail.com. You could also give us a call. You can call 361-COL Talk. That's 361-265-8255 and leave us a message. We don't have to necessarily play it, but we'd be happy to. Also, in addition to that, pretty much just check us out on social media. Type in Cubs Out Loud as one word. If you want to join our Telegram social chat, you can go to tinyurl.com/telegram-COLDR. And then if you want to know when we're going to be doing the main show, the going live on YouTube, you can check out our calendar at tinyurl.com/calendar-COL. If you would like to support us, there's several ways you can do that. And the first one is merchandising. You go to zazzle.com/cubsoutloud and you get various accoutrement and items there, as we like to say, as Damon's showing off our two-tone pink Cubs Out Loud Drag Race. Yeah, that's it. Rub the rim. Coffee mug, along with other items. We have different apparel items as well. I happen to be wearing the Consent is My Foreplay theme shirt, which happens to be in the drag pride colors. Damon happens to have his on, which is a hoodie, then a lovely hunter green that happens to be the bear pride. There are several versions of these. There's also leather, pup, regular pride, like an inclusive pride. There's all sorts of stuff. So great stuff that you can get there. In addition to that, you can become a patron. You can go to patreon.com/cubsoutloud for $1 or more a month and get the full versions of these, including the pre and post shows in that case. And then if you just want to leave a tip, you can go to paypal.me/cubsoutloud and make a one-time donation to help keep the lights on, as we say. And basically, look for the podcast anywhere online. Cubs Out Loud Drag Race is its own feed, so if you're really interested in this, you can get it as a podcast that way. There's also a playlist on youtube.com/Cubs Out Loud if you're interested in that. Damon, if people were going to find you online, where would they go?
If you wish to get in touch with me, you can find me as Theater Cub 79. That's TheaTre79 on most Beverly. Wait, TheaTrecub79. I may have said it twice. Don't care about it. On most Beverly sites. Or you can find me as Pup_Umbra on Twitter or PupUmbra79 on Blue Sky. The Blue Sky and the Twitter are not safe for work. For safe for work stuff, you can find me as DMAGamer79 on Blue Sky TikTok, and Twitter for now. Gary.
If people would like to get in touch with me, they can pretty much type in GareBear73 anywhere online to see if I have a profile or a service on there. And feel free to shoot me a message, but introduce yourself, just so that I know that you're not some random AI bot or whatever's going on. Just say it, And with that, we will be back in a couple of weeks after we get to the next 2 episodes, and a couple more queens are gone, or at least we think they're going to be leaving. So,
God, I hope so.
Until then, see you later, kittens.
Bye.